I've just finished 2 weeks on my weight loss journey, and guess what? I'm already down 8 pounds. I faced some challenges and I did my best to stay on track. Let me show you what worked, what didn't work, and make sure to stick around till the end when I'll share my plans for the upcoming month. So what went well? I took my own advice and just stuck to water and salsa for the last 2 weeks. I didn't have any sugary drinks. Can you drink coffee and tea and other beverages? You can. Just be really conscious of the added sugars because those can sabotage your weight loss. The other thing I did was I stuck to my fasting plan. I did the 16-8 intermittent fasting plan pretty much every day, I believe. I don't think I skipped a day. The other thing is I used my mornings wisely. Not every morning, but I used my mornings to try to get a walk in. As far as diet goes, what went well with the diet's going to fall into both categories, if I'm going to be honest with you. But what I did well with my diet is I was really good about cutting out sugar and carbohydrates. Prior to starting my weight loss journey, I was eating a lot of ice cream, so I didn't eat any desserts in the last 2 weeks, and I did a really good job of reducing carbohydrates. Basically cut all that out for the last 2 weeks. Will I incorporate that into the future? Time will tell. Probably so, but in a lot smarter and more sustainable way. If any of the resources that popped up onto the screen interest you, I'll go ahead and link to them in the description. So let's go ahead and move on to what before we jump into the next section, let me know what's working for you. Have you just started your weight loss journey? Have you been doing it for a while? What's working? What's not working with you? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear about it. What didn't work well? What held me back was I didn't walk as much as I should have. As you could see, I did have some good days, but then I had a lot of mostly not so active days. So walking is something that I think held me back. I think I may have lost a little bit of weight, could have lost a little bit more weight if I would have walked a little bit more. The other thing is I didn't strength train at all. I did a couple of sets of push-ups here and there, but not many, not enough to say I actually strength trained. It wouldn't go that far. So those two things I think personally held me back. Walking more could have potentially led to another pound or two of fat loss, not muscle. The other thing I did was, as far as diet goes, I did cut out the sugar and the carbs like I mentioned earlier. Food choices weren't always the best. I got really busy with trying to create some of these videos for the channel, and I didn't have time to prepare dinner or go food shopping, so I would order takeout. And the big thing with takeout, I was just trying to keep the carbs low, and I did that, but some of the food was really salty, and I think that could have held me back because I weigh in every day. And I had 2 days where the weight started to creep up a little bit. And I'm not going to say I panicked. I know there's day-to-day fluctuations. There's a reason why I weigh in, and I'm going to save that for another video. Seeing that weight creep up so early, I was like, oh, come on, you got to be kidding me. I knew that was going to happen a little bit, but not as much as it did. So what I started doing was just drinking a little bit more water and walking a little bit more the next couple of days, and the weight did reset. It made me a little more conscious, or very conscious, of the food I was eating. What are my plans going forward? What I'm going to do is definitely increase the walking. I noticed that if I get up early and go for a walk and I front load that exercise, that walking in the day, it makes for a much more successful day. So that's one thing going forward is I'm going to increase the steps, the moving, and the walking. I'll do this by walking more in the morning before I start my regular job, my day job, and then I'll take breaks every hour or so and just get up, stretch, maybe do 5 minutes up and down the hallway and try to get some steps in that way. And then also if I go to run an errand, this and that, try to park a little further away from the door of the store and try to get in steps, and just be creative with how I can get steps and movement in going forward. That'll be what I do. The other thing I do is I definitely will start trying to work in some strength training. I said a moment ago that even though I cut out the carbs and the sugar, and the other thing I did, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, is I was eating a lot of sweets before I started this journey, and I eliminated those basically, like ice cream and cake and pies and whatnot. And so I eliminated those from that. I did a good job with that, but the food quality wasn't great, and that's something I'm gonna have to research. The thing for me is I love like flavorful foods and I love variety, so that's a challenge. If I'm going to eat a salad and chicken breast every day, I know already that's not going to work for in the long term. So I'll have to come up with some creative dishes to keep me engaged and interested in what I eat, because I look forward to eating. I'm not going to never not look forward to eating, and I don't think you need to deprive yourself or not look forward to eating. I think that you can have a lot of weight loss success eating great food. It's just that we have to eliminate or really considerably reduce some of the foods that we really would like to eat as well. The last thing I'll do is constantly working and tweaking my morning routine. I know if you've watched other videos, you hear me talking about morning routine a lot. If you've ever researched or studied successful people, almost all of them, maybe not every one of them, but almost all of them will swear by their morning routines. It's the most predictable time of the day, and it's basically a really great way to set your day with intention. If I get up early and you already know the routine, it takes away that they call that decision fatigue. And it happens to me on days when my routine is not dialed in. You get up and you're like, well, should I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? But if you have a morning routine, you get up, you just start doing it. You don't have to make all these decisions first thing as soon as you get up, or you're groggy and this and that. You know what you have to do because it becomes a habit. Dialing in your morning routine with an emphasis on fat loss and weight loss will make it so much easier. So that's something I'm always gonna tweak, look at, evaluate, and optimize. If you want to learn more about the 5 weight loss tips that I started with on my weight loss journey, go ahead and check out this video here.